What's that? You want to watch me unbox a couple of fragrances? You don't gotta ask me twice. What's going on, guys? It's Neve. Thanks for tuning back into my channel, Aromatics. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and click those notification bells. I've got quite a few fragrances that we've got to get into today, and they're all gonna be first impressions unboxing. So let's not waste any more time and get right into it. First fragrance we're gonna do is Coach Platinum. Coach Platinum, I've been dying to get my hands on for such a long time. I know what this one smells like, but for the longest time, I was just really having a hard time buying designer fragrances. Considering all the Middle Eastern fragrances that are out there, especially for the price, I didn't really feel the need to go for designer, but I finally broke and I got this fragrance. And I'll tell you guys why. This is a really nice cheapie. I'm not gonna lie, man. This is one of those cheapies that I'm honestly glad I finally picked up. It's a nice pineapple-based fragrance. It's really, really nice. Almost bubblegummy sweet, not too sweet, but sweet pineapple that's super wearable. So I'm gonna let this one dry down a bit and we're gonna move on to the next fragrance. And this one is called CASSIUS. This is also from MAISON Alhambra, and this is supposed to be a clone of Carlisle. Same thing with the bottle. This is a nice matte black. Here we go. Let me give it a second before I put this to my nose. I learned my lesson from that first one, and here we go. One of the best clones, man. One of the best clones. I'm gonna put this aside and let it dry down and see what I get. This next fragrance was inspired by TLTG Reviews, aka Ross Carlos. And this is for you, Ross. Salvatore Ferragamo. Which one is this one called? ACQUA ESSENZIALE Blue. I got the tester bottle because it was on sale, and here we go. This is what it looks like. Let's see what the fuss is all about. All right, this one's not bad. This is gonna be an easy reach, almost an everyday wear type of thing. This is gonna be in that same realm as something as Versace Dylan Blue. This one is a bit more shower jelly. It's definitely close to that family of blue fragrances with that Ambroxan family of fragrances like Versace Dylan Blue. Almost like if Versace Dylan Blue and Bleu de Chanel had a baby. That's essentially what I get with this one. Versace Dylan Blue and Bleu de Chanel blended, awesome. I like this. I'm gonna let it dry down and we'll see what we get with the dry down. So you know I picked up the Coach Platinum. I couldn't pick up the Coach Platinum without picking up the OG. And that's what we did. We picked up the OG. So this is Coach for men. These are really nice for the price, honestly. I remember smelling both of these back in the day. I just never got myself to purchase them. But now that I'm actually collecting and reviewing, I figured, you know what? Let's get them back in the collection and see if they're worth the money. This is a really nice freshie. It is quite different from the Platinum. Personally, I enjoy the Platinum a little bit more because of that tropical pineapple fresh vibe. This one is fruity fresh, but it's not overly fruity, nor is it overly fresh. This has a perfect balance of sweetness, freshness, and fruit. It's really nice, it's fresh, it's fruity, it's sweet. Nothing more to say about it, honestly, but it's really nice and it will get you compliments. So let's move on to the next one, see if I can get anything different once this dries down. This next one is Dolce & Gabbana, the One Eau de Parfum Intense. I love gold, and this is gold, all gold, so I bought it. Don't judge me. I freaking love this bottle. Look at that, man. This just looks like a gold bar. They knew what they were doing with this. This is really nice. I love this thing. It might be a fingerprint magnet, but damn, all gold. This screams luxury. Does the juice inside scream luxury as well? Let's find out. I really don't know what to say right now. I'm not blown away. This kind of smells like your average generic designer. This smells like it has a sexy vibe to it. So there's a freshness at the top that's blended with probably some kind of Middle Eastern spice like cardamom. All in all, I mean, I'm not really getting anything too unique. I'm gonna put this one aside and we'll come back to it as well. This next one I had to get because I have to tell you guys whether or not I think that this is worth the money. All of you guys know that this has been hyped to death, and this is CHERGUI. So it's a tobacco-based fragrance. It's got some notes of like hay and some other funky notes. I just remember hay and tobacco. So let's see, is it good? Is it worth the money? So this is a pretty small rinky-dink bottle. I really did not expect it to be this small, but it's cute. There's the bottom, there's the top. This is a 1.6 ounce 50 ml, which I purchased for around $70 US. All right, this is the first thing that came out, and this is the atomizer because you get the fragrance with a cap that looks like, what the fuck is this? Which looks like this. Usually when they advertise these, they look huge, but guys, this is tiny. Look at that. So it's tiny. They make it look like they're so big, but it's really not. Let me put this one up next to Leyden. Maybe that'll help. Here you go. Nice, cute little bottle. I feel cheated. I feel cheated, but I knew I was getting a 1.6 ounce. So, all right. And I think you twist this. Yeah, you twist it off. And here we go. Let's put it on together.
All right. Twist it on, take off the cap, finish the job.
All right, let's check it out. Let me show you guys what the cap looked like. Here you go. Little soldier. Is this worth 70 bucks? Here we go. Okay, I got a lot of alcohol at first. Tobacco, some earthy green nuances from that hay, clearly. No, nothing really spicy. It smells pretty natural. It smells like tobacco and earth. Not overly special, to be honest. For the price, I think that this is worth it. When I smell this, I can tell that there are quality ingredients in here for sure. The richness of the tobacco note and some of these green notes is definitely higher in concentration than some designer fragrances, really. I wouldn't say really that this is that strong, but I'm saying that the quality difference, I can definitely tell. I can tell that there is a quality difference in the tobacco for sure. It just smells more rich, more realistic. The more realistic the note, the higher the quality. You can assume, at least. So far I get a dominant tobacco fragrance with some earthy green nuances, really. That's essentially what this fragrance is. Let's put it aside as well and get into the last fragrance. And the last fragrance comes from my favorite house, XERJOFF, and this is Renaissance. I know what Renaissance smells like. The first time I smelled this DNA was from a dupe, and I really did not enjoy it that much. But then I went to my local Neiman's and I tested out XERJOFF's Renaissance, and it made me realize that that clone sucks. So when I smelled the actual Renaissance fragrance, I fell in love and I knew I had to get it. And so here it is. This is XERJOFF Renaissance. When you get it, it always comes in that white box, but inside that box, you get this big old thing. So I also purchased this. All these fragrances I purchased with my own money from fragrancebuy.ca. Not a sponsored video whatsoever. And you have the majestic XERJOFF presentation. You've got this nice leather all over the exterior of the box, and this is a padded leather, so there's some kind of foam insert that's been stitched into place, and on the other side it's just the flap. On the back you have this leather cover that covers up the hinge. On the front you see XERJOFF, and on the bottom there's nothing there. So when you open the box, this is what you get. You get that nice X for XERJOFF, and then you have these two flaps here, which are actually velvet cloth. So these have a nice velvet finish. It's not just cloth. It's nice and fuzzy. And then inside rests the fragrance. So this is XERJOFF Renaissance, 100 ml. There you go. And what I really like about these presentations and what I do is you can take this out. And what I like to do is tuck these underneath, and then you can place the insert right over it. And you don't have to place it in flush. What you can do is sit it up. So if you're planning on getting some XERJOFFs for your collection, you could sit it up like so, and there you go. And so when you present your fragrances, it can just sit up like this. And that's exactly how I have most of my XERJOFFs presented. So as you could see back there, that's exactly what I do. So let's get into this fragrance. From what I remember and what I fell in love with is that this is one of the most natural smelling fresh fragrances ever, at least in this part of my fragrance journey. This has notes of like mint and some other citruses, and I'm not that crazy about mint in fragrances, but when it's done this natural, it's really not bad. And dosed in this way, it's just perfection. And I can already smell it in the air. It's pretty strong. So let me shut up and put this to my nose and tell you guys what I get. Oh, this is so good. It has a super realistic lime and mint. This smells like a super realistic lemon, lime, and mint. It smells almost like a Sprite. It's not really that carbonated. There is some kind of green nuance in the background, but what really dominates this fragrance is a super naturalistic lemon lime, more lime than lemon, so lime, lemon, mint. And that's why I say there's green nuances, because it almost feels like the rind of the lime is there still. So you get that lime with the lime rind or lime rind peels, then you have that lemon as well, and you have the mint that's really just hovering over the entire fragrance. It's really not a synthetic mint. This is a very natural mint. It's one of the cleanest mint note that I've smelled in most fragrances. Let's work our way back to some of the dry downs, and we'll make this quick. CASSIUS, which is the Carlisle dupe from MAISON Alhambra. Still very close to PDM Carlisle. It's not as dense, just like we found with LUTENS, but it's still really, really nice. Now we're gonna go into ACQUA ESSENZIALE Blue from Salvatore Ferragamo. This stayed pretty linear. Still has that Versace Dylan Blue and Bleu de Chanel vibe. So it's more of a blue fragrance than it is an Ambroxan fragrance. Versace Dylan Blue is the Ambroxan and Bleu de Chanel is the blue. that we're using for the examples here. So it's more of a blue than it is ambroxan, but it still does have that combination. Let's smell the Dolce & Gabbana Gold. This did something quite different. I actually like the dry down a lot more than I did the opening. The dry down is a bit more unique than the opening, but I'm still not really blown away. It's a nice fragrance, but I don't think it's one that I'm going to be like, oh, I'm dying to wear Dolce & Gabbana, the one gold. I still get some of the freshness. I get a little bit of sweetness, and mostly I get some types of aromatic spices in that fragrance. So let's move on to the next fragrance, which is going to be Coach for Men. Coach for Men is very underwhelming as far as the strength. It's super fruity and sweet. It kind of reminds me of a fruity bubble gum, essentially what I get. More fruits than bubble gum, but it's still that bubblegummy fruit type of vibe. Coach for Men, I think, is going to be one of the more weaker performing fragrances of the lot. And now Coach Platinum. Coach Platinum is a bit stronger. I still get some of that pineapple and that freshness. This one's a really nice one. I still really enjoy Coach Platinum. As of right now, I'm very glad I got both, but if I had to pick again, I would stick to the Platinum. SERGE LUTENS CHERGUI, it got richer. It definitely got richer. There's more of that hay note than there is tobacco, but the tobacco is still there. The tobacco is still pretty loud. Honestly, this got stronger in the dry down. SERGE LUTENS CHERGUI, not bad. Really not bad. I'm pretty impressed. Got richer, got denser, got stronger. Lastly, we've got XERJOFF Renaissance. Man, this is so good. It's just as good as when it started. It did get a little bit greener, almost like there might be vetiver in here. Don't quote me for that. I didn't look at any of the notes, but it's almost like that lime rind got a bit denser. It dropped off some of that lemon. It still kept the lime, and the rind is really shining now. The mint is still there as well. All right, that sums up this haul. This was a pretty successful haul. I'm gonna get a lot of wearings out of a lot of these fragrances. One of the ones that I'm definitely rocking the most is gonna be XERJOFF Renaissance. And the most underwhelming fragrances, I have to say, is gonna be the Coach for Men. And this one, although not underwhelming, it's nothing special. I love the design of this bottle. And SERGE LUTENS CHERGUI, I'm pretty impressed with. I don't see myself really rocking this, but I'm gonna be wearing this more for like comfort. So this is gonna be probably a bedtime scent or something that where I'm just chilling, reading a book or something like that. This is probably what I'll put on. Who the hell reads books? Read books. Honestly, I do sometimes. If you enjoyed watching this video and you wanna watch videos like this and more, hit that subscribe button. It's free. And until next time, peace.